Hello Rebels and welcome back to my life. Let's go back and talk about the topics that I wanted to talk about last week after filming my film Unsaid. As before, Unsaid is based on a short story that I wrote and published, and the link to buy that is available in the description if you want. It's only 99 cents. A pretty cool story. It's very sad. So I want to talk about how we deal with loss, or I guess specifically I want to talk about how I have dealt with loss. And this is relevant not only to the loss of my mother, which is the subject of Unsaid, the short story and the short film, but also I had a friend take his own life. So how do we get past that? How do we get over it? I don't know that the idea of getting over things is the most helpful idea in the world, because it puts forth this idea that you will be in pain, and then one day that pain will utterly stop, and then your life will carry on as it always was. And I think that if you are expecting it to go away one day, you will be setting yourself up for a long time period of disappointment. But if by getting over it you mean getting through a period of intense grief into a state of mind where you can go on with the rest of your life, well then getting over it as a concept would seem to require a few things. First, it would require that you can interact with other people and with your normal everyday life without constantly being reminded of the person that you've lost. Honestly, for me, what helped, and I can't say this would be helpful to everybody else, but what I did was I sat down with other people that I loved and I talked with them about the person. Now that can be very emotional, and depending on your current emotional state, that might be more than you can take. But if you can take it, it does tend to sort of desensitize it a little bit, in my experience. Now, getting over it would also seem to include the concept of taking care of yourself again, being able to go on with the daily things that you need to do in order to carry on with your life. That, very understandably, might not happen immediately after the loss. That's fine, and I hope that you are able to have some sort of support system, people that will help you out, friends who will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you're sleeping, there for you if you need a shoulder to cry on. Having that support system helps you during that period where it's very difficult to look after yourself. Finally, and this might be the most important thing, getting over it would include, for me, the ability to have a relationship with somebody again. If you lose somebody very close to you, there's probably something very unique about your relationship with that individual. I could talk with my mom about things that I could not talk to anybody else about, just like there are things that I can talk to my dad about that I can't talk about with anybody else, including my mom. We have uniquenesses with every person that when we lose them, we lose those things. And sometimes those things are very important. I need, on occasion, to talk to people about the things that I talked to my mom about. Try to find new outlets for what you needed from your relationship with that person. If there was one thing that you could never talk about with anybody except that one person, try branching out, finding somebody who you can talk about those things with. This was the most important part of the healing process for me, because I would be going along with my day-to-day life and I would think, oh my God, I've got to tell mom about whatever it was. And then I would realize, and then that would bring it all crashing down in on me again, and that's not pleasant. So being able to take those things that were exclusively mom and distribute them among other people, my wife, my friends, my dad, that was a huge part of the healing process for me, and if you can manage it, it might be helpful to you as well. So there you have it, Rebels, some of the ways that I have dealt with loss in the past. I'm not a grief counselor. I don't have professional advice in this regard. I just have what I've gone through. I hope that helps you. If you have lost somebody, if you're going through a tough time, my inbox is always open. There's a link in the description to the contact form on my website. Hit me up. Consider me available. Tomorrow we'll talk about a related, but usually somewhat happier note, family. Hope to see you then. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.